While we're doing that, you guys can stand up and take a couple big deep breaths up over your head and just kind of get those cobwebs out. Welcome to ERGOFIT. Happy Wednesday. I'm Barbara Morgan with Health Fitness. Glad you could join me. Another big deep breath. We got our low back seminar on June 4th that you can register for. And all of these slides will be posted out on the chat at the end of the presentation today, under my 10 minutes. All right, let's get going. We're going to start with some wrist extenders. So there's a lot of you who have done this over and over with me, but we're going to start with the wrist, the palm down. And very gently, you're going to put your other hand on the back of your hand, the back of the palm, and just very, very gently, you want to just pull down until you feel a little bit of a stretch. We don't ever want there to be any pain or discomfort for this. If it is something that's causing you some discomfort, please don't do it. You can reach out to me and we'll find something else you can do. You might find over the weeks that you get a little bit more range of motion than you did at the beginning. And you just want to hold this for maybe 15, 30 seconds. And we're going to shake this out a little bit. We're going to come over to the left hand. Again, you should be feeling this through the back of the wrist up into the forearm. You might even feel it up into your bicep and tricep. We forget about our wrists and what all they do for us all day, especially on our mousing hand. Okay, we're going to shake that out. We're going to go back to the right again. We're going to do one more time on each side. I strongly encourage you to do these kind of stretches during the day if you can. They're very easy to do sitting at your desk. And our wrists really take a lot of abuse. I don't know if everybody's on mute. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I've been working on a PowerPoint today, so this feels great. I'm going to shake this out. We're going to go back over to the left hand. You can't see me so well if I do it. Let me see if I can move back. But sometimes if you point your arm a little bit more down to the floor, you can get a little bit more of a stretch. So play with that. Perfect. And now we're going to do the exact opposite. So we're going to extend our hand with the palm up. And then very gently, you don't want to pull at the very bottom of the fingers. You kind of want to pull a little bit more where your fingers hit your palm. And you want to pull that down. This is a phenomenal stretch for the inside of your wrist. That's where our carpal tunnel lives. There's really not a whole lot of things protecting it. That's why we want to be very conscious of whether or not our wrist is resting down on our desk surface or especially an edge. Once that carpal tunnel starts to collapse, there's nothing we can do but surgery to get it back to where it should be. There's no way to reverse the damage. Shake that out a little bit. I'm going to go over to the left, do the exact same thing. We're pulling back on the fingers at the very bottom of the palm. Make sure you got a little bit of coverage on the palm area so you're not just pulling back on fingers. And again, should be feeling that the inside of the wrist, all the way up the forearm. Might get a little bicep here, probably not much tricep. Yeah, we always want to balance things out. Don't just give your mouse hand the love. Back to the right hand again. And this one also, you'll get a little bit deeper stretch if you kind of lower your hand down so it's facing the floor. And if you do these with some regularity, see if you can just push things a little bit further than you did before. We talked early on about the whole idea of stretching. It should be just kind of taking things just a little bit past your normal range of motion. And I'm going to go back over to the left and do that one more time. This is also week 3 out of 6 on why move. So we'll talk about that at the end. Again, it's a great slide if you want to pull it up and take a closer look at it at the end of the class. Perfect. So now we're going to stand up if you're not standing. You want to put your hands kind of on your waist in the back. And what we want to do is just kind of push your elbows back and arch your back backwards. So we're kind of doing this stretch along the front and also through the shoulders and the mid-back. I don't want to lose my headset, but if you look up to the ceiling, you might get a little deeper stretch. And again, you want to just hold this 20, 30 seconds. And we're going to shake it out a little bit. Then roll around. We're going to do that one more time. This also really helps with the fact that we have a tendency to round our shoulders as we sit at our desk. And it also helps remind us to keep those shoulders down. You don't want to do this with your shoulders up to your ears. You want to be very conscious about letting them drop. Perfect. Shake that out a little bit. And as I said, I've been working on a PowerPoint today, so I was copying and pasting a lot. So my fingers are a little fatigued. We're going to do the finger stretch. So you want to spread your fingers out as wide as you can, and then bring them into a really tight fist. And then wide as you can, and you can wiggle them. Again, this is not anything we usually do during the day. And not only do we mouse, but we're holding pens, we're holding our phones in that kind of clutch grip. Out one more time. And we're going to go over to the left. You can actually do these at the same time. So stretch them out as far as you can and then into a fist. Wiggle them around, back to a fist. And wiggle them around again and back to a fist. Okay, the last thing we're going to do as we finish up here, we're going to do thumb circles. So I want you to take your thumb, get it as far away from your fingers as you can, and I just want you to forward about 7 or 8 times. And then we're going to go backwards. And I'm going to finish up here with the peg for movement today. And today's about reducing injury risk. So when movements vary for the joints and the muscles, they become more adaptable and resilient. So bending, twisting, reaching, squatting, it allows the body to strengthen and condition the muscles and connective tissues in different ways. So that's the idea, is we want to be doing different things all the time. I'm going to move over to the left hand. I'm going to go forward with that thumb. It helps prevent injuries because the joints are less likely to be subjected to that repetitive motion and strain. So if you're performing the same tasks and the same motor functions with your joints and your muscles, and we're going to reverse, then you open yourself up for injury, which is what we're really all trying to avoid. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Take a couple big deep breaths. Have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Everybody stay safe with the storms, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thank you.